I would never think that I could do that with a 52.
You could have, Pierce.
I agree. That's a ridiculous shot, that is.
Everybody wants to play that sexy spinning wedge shot, and we thought we'd bring in a very special guest to show us how it's done, Ricky Fowler. Ricky, great to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you guys back here in Florida.
Yes, it's always good to be back. And how's things with you?
Good. Just working on the game, grinding through, swing changes and trying to get everything back on track. So good play is hopefully right around the corner. Everything's been heading the right way.
Good. Well, the putting video we did last year, we were saying earlier, did really well. Everyone enjoyed that, which is good. Hopefully you got some useful value from that. But this time, this is a tricky shot, Pierce, isn't it?
So we're pretty much, we've got 50, 40, 30, some different scenarios. This is pretty much where amateurs, and maybe myself and Andy would, for want of a better word, crap ourselves. Okay,
Yeah.
So this is not that pleasant a shot with the pin locations that we've got here. So we're going to mix it up. Let's start off with a basic pitch.
Okay.
People are just going to fast forward to the backspin one, aren't they, Andy? But no, we'll go for the basic pitch to the 50-yard. What sort of things are you looking for?
So yeah, for me, downwind of that back pin, I can play some release. I'm probably trying to fly this about 40 yards, and I'd pick 56. I'm not trying to stop it, anything crazy. So in my head, I'm kind of feeling more of what I would make swing-wise with a lob wedge for 30 yards. This should fly 40, okay, and then release on. So
basing your lob wedge swings, and then obviously all the yards is fitting the clubs around. It's like a little matrix almost, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Just trying to, keep things simple. You're not always going to end up with perfect, round numbers. So you got to have some feel in there.
Yeah.
But that's just a starting point, and then I can add or subtract a little bit from there. And then, like we mentioned, wind or what the grain on the green's doing, all that can, play a factor.
Of course.
All right,
well, let's play a shot.
And we dropped this, so it's not. It wasn't like we gave ourselves a perfect lie.
I'd be placing it if it was me, to be fair.
So yeah, I'm kind of visualizing or feeling like the swing I'd make for a 30-yarder with lob wedge. It probably sounds more complicated than
No, that's good. I like it.
So should land on, release, and go to the right a little bit.
Looks like it's going to do something like that.
Nice. And just a quick one on that then, Ricky. Obviously this grass Bermuda,
Job.
Are you thinking on this sort of shot that you're trying to create a little bit more sort of steepness in this as opposed to more brushing, would you say?
So there's I guess two different ways that people have always talked about short game. It's whether it's getting back to like 90 or a very neutral impact, to where you're effectively using the bounce. I've always thought that was really hard to do. If I chip cross-handed, I can get it back to 90 pretty easily. But for me, if I get tight lies into the grain, sometimes I'm just better off kind of go steep and try and get ball first. Good, just bet that you're going to make good contact. Because I feel like you're going to make better contact a majority of the time versus if you're just like, well, let me just try and deliver the club this way. I just feel like there's more that can go wrong that way.
Last thing you want to do is hit the Bermuda early. I know
Exactly.
that.
No,
Hitting the Bermuda. Yes, let's hit one more. Hit one more to that flag there because this is really good.
Okay, like we said, I don't want them.
We don't want it in the divot though.
No, it's possible. Hopefully we can pull off the same thing.
You see that leading edge is open, Andy.
It's definitely more of a drive, like you say, more of a drive down. That was nice. I had a bit of check on it, that one.
Yeah, that was a groove low.
Slightly
came
low
out a little lower,
Yeah.
flew a little shorter. I don't know how far it is from the hole, but
8 feet maybe.
yeah.
Perfect.
We'll cut the other camera. From here it looks good.
Sorry, 8 inches.
Okay, so a lot of people want to, whether it's good for them or not, a lot of amateurs say, how do we spin the ball? How do we put backspin on? A lot of people necessarily shouldn't try and do that, and it's obviously a lot to do with contact. But if you want to hit it to a flag, let's say maybe this tight one here at the front, how would you create some more spin so you can really get it to grab on that first sort of second bounce?
Well, for one, it wouldn't be dropping it, because if I drop the ball, like we talked about earlier, your lie dictates what you're capable of hitting. Now you can hit a spinner from a bad lie, but the chances of you pulling it off is slim to none. So now we'll place it, because the times that you would try this shot is when you have the capability of doing it.
And this is the thing, isn't it? Even as good as Ricky is, when you see Ricky play this shot on TV, it's probably because he's either hit a good shot or he's leading or in contention in the tournament. There's going to be times when you look at the line and go, I can't play that shot, so I'm just going to allow it to run 15 foot past.
And this, since we don't have a forced carry, that's another time, is if there is a forced carry, like, that's your only option, is to play the ball in the air. But here you have so many options, and I mean, for someone that's, you know, maybe not very good short game wise, I mean, 7-iron, 4-iron, putter, just something that's going to get it up there. I mean, there's no reason to hit it here or blade one over the green. So yeah, no, here we got a lie that is going to hopefully allow me to do something fun. Laying the face open, trying to get the club to kind of slide under the ball. The drier the conditions, the better. Once you, obviously you guys know, if the ground's wet, ball's wet, you know, water takes a lot of spin off the ball. So dry conditions, we like that. I open up a bit just so it allows me to get through the ball. Being square, it's hard to let the club release and feel like I'm always going to hit it over there.
And he's laying that face wide open. It's literally the back edge of the club is on the ground.
And to do that, I mean, say here is where it sits flat. When you lay it open, your hands have to drop for it to sit properly. I guess it's something I never necessarily like worry about. It's just when I open it up, it's like, okay, we're going down here.
Back down. And
it'd be very similar to what you're going to do in the bunker. For me, I'm feeling the face kind of roll open a little bit.
Cool.
And then I want to hold that angle all the way through. So very, very similar to what I would do in a bunker, is trying to keep that face from closing down or that leading edge coming in. So getting that little roll open helps with exposing the bounce and not letting that kind of close down.
So this is more of a sort of closer to returning it to 90 than the shot that you've just hit, would you say?
Yeah, definitely trying to. I mean, it's probably still going to have a little bit of hands leading, but having that face stay open, facing back, and then I always think of it's going to be kind of, you're facing the target and the club's going to be pointing back at you. Yeah, it's not a high percentage shot, but it's a fun one when it comes out right.
That's why these guys want to do it. Okay. Well, that's it's a tricky flag, but
downwind was making it harder.
Seeing it. 56, Ricky, this shot, yeah?
I'm going 60.
60, yeah.
We can hit 56 with it too here in a sec. Okay. Now the last thing you do is you pray.
There we go. I pitched an inch on the green and stopped dead straight after.
So if you could have that come out every time, it'd be perfect. So I would say, going back to kind of that similar pitch we hit, you know, this is probably more of a standard lie you would get here, and looking probably to land it a little short of those balls. And just hit the normal pitch in there.
That's the safer play, isn't it?
Very safe, you know, standard motion. You're not trying to get crazy. And, you know, for amateur, we talked about earlier, like, if you could always get it up and down in no less or no more than 3 from here.
It's avoiding that disaster.
Quick question on that grip pressure. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Does it differ from the longer shots as well?
Yeah, it's definitely a little lighter because, I mean, you want the club, like, I think I was telling someone yesterday, but however tight you would grip it with one hand to make a swing and have control of the golf club, but to let the club head swing, I think that's a good kind of, I would say it's kind of middle ground, like 5 out of 10. Similar thing, I tell people, putting, enough pressure to be able to hold the club where someone can't pull it out of your arms, but your arms aren't locked. So if someone tries to pull this, your arms should go, you're not tensed up. So to be able to have that kind of freedom, your arms are able to move, the club can swing, but you still have control.
I like that. Should we have a go at this other one here? By the way, hit the like button if you did enjoy that shot, because that was pretty cool.
A lot of spin on those.
And actually comment down below as well, what shot do you struggle with in your short game? I'm going to be putting this spinner down for me.
I'll let Ricky choose his lie for this next high soft.
Yeah, so 40 yards, flag on the right, we've got to go over a bunker. It doesn't feed in as much left to right maybe as we thought when we were hitting the putt earlier. But yeah, I mean, what would you do here?
Again, lie dependent. So if it was a bit of a kind of so-so lie and I needed to get it up and over the bunker, get some decent contact, I may actually just stay with 56. Got a little wider sole, more bounce, just makes it a little easier to hit the shot and get clean contact. I mean, in a way similar to the kind of spinner shot. We're just not trying to get as cute. But the 56 will allow me to kind of take advantage of the sole a little bit more.
Okay. So the reason, so instead of going for 60 and having maybe the leading edge exposed a bit more, opening out, having a little bit more bounce.
Just, you know, if we got to place our lie, I mean, 60 makes a lot of pitch shots easier when you have a good lie, but you know, with some tough lies every once in a while, you know, you don't need to go all the way to 60 degrees. You can get away with hitting shots with, you know, other stuff, especially in a tough spot. You know, hitting something to 8 feet is still not bad.
Yeah, of course.
And we talked about amateurs, you know, even just getting it on the green or
15,
20 feet, that's fine. You don't need to try and get heroic and then you hit it in the bunker and then, you know, there's a lot that can go on.
That's exactly what they want to do watching this. They want to get heroic. Maybe they shouldn't.
Let's go ahead and try it. There we go. I mean, anytime that I feel like you're going up, the ball's going to be up in your stance.
Okay.
I think that's should be a common thing, but you could try it from the back. You're probably not going to have much success back there.
Makes sense.
And I would say, still, I mean, weights, you know, anytime you're really hitting shots around the greens, I feel like your weight's always
lead side
towards that front. You know, you don't want to have the transition or swaying. It's, you know, that lower body stays
keep it there
pretty solid.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, after all that, pray for another good one.
That's good. Zip that one.
A little
pitch
deep.
in. Oh, that was really good. Yeah, just the back of the hole there. Very nice.
Okay.
So you say you have 52 maybe out of this?
We can.
That'd be an interesting one, because that's a shot that me and you wouldn't probably look at here and go 52.
Definitely not, no.
Playing to that.
I'd be going putter, to be fair.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It is different though in these lies. Bermuda's just so tricky to hit.
Yeah. If you're playing off
we were talking. I mean, it kind of. There's so many different lies where you don't get a great one here, and then you're kind of looking just to get away with, you know, whatever. So.
Yeah.
So I suppose a big play for someone who's playing golf, and if they were 50 yards short, they wouldn't be saying stuff. Well, let's be 80 yards or 100 yards short.
Yeah, knowing certain areas, if it's going to be a tough pitch to, you know, a tight pin and you're pitching off of end of the grain.
Yeah.
You know, full wedge shot in or something like that might be. You start thinking about different stuff and kind of the course management.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll try and get it to move a little right on the green.
Perfect.
This is the 52. That's
a little cut in off the side there.
Oh, nice. Look at that one.
I would never think that I could do that with a 52.
You couldn't, Pierce?
I agree. That's a ridiculous shot, that is.
I mean, that was perfect.
That's
I mean,
the best
that one there is one to try.
That's frightening, that's frightening. Superb. Ricky, thanks so much for your time. I mean, I think the good thing looking at these shots here, this is how you play it, but I think you've given some real good nuggets there to anyone watching this on maybe some ways that they can play it as well, so I really like that contrast there.
Yeah, you don't always want to try and, I mean, when you're out having fun or if you're at the chipping green, you can try some stuff, have some fun with it. That's where, you know, growing up, learning how to hit different shots, it's what you do. But when it's time to score, it's not about how it looks. Like, let's try and get it. What's the easiest way to get it as close as possible and keep moving forward?
Choose your moments. That's exactly what you need to do. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Massive thank you to TaylorMade and Ricky for setting this up, and have a great year, Ricky, as well.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, before you go and watch the next video, how would you like to knock 5 shots off your round?
Our 5 shots lower video series is going to do exactly that. And guess what? It's for free as well. All you need to do is click the link down there.